All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we are, the man of the hour, Mr. Toxic motherfucking Eclipse. Thank you for thank you for indulging me, my guy. I greatly appreciate this. This means a fucking lot. Okay, so
Of course, I am always up for stuff like this. You know me, I like to talk.
oh yeah, so do I.
What's up too fast? Sorry, I'm also trying to I have like the stream up and
Oh, it's all good.
my head might be going all over the place because I got Discord over here, stream up over here.
Right. I'm not even looking at chat because I got my questions pulled up on the phone. So I'm not ignoring you guys. I just can't see shit. Okay, so let's.
If there's anything like crazy in chat, I'll read it out for you.
Awesome. Thank you. All right, so let's start at the beginning.
Wait,
Who.
hold up. You might need to boost my audio on your end.
Oh, how would I do that?
Noodle said, certain mic. If you go to hover over my camera, it says options. You should be able to.
Oh, there we go. User volume. There we go.
Yeah. Man,
How's that?
Me up a bit.
Okay.
I don't know. I can't hear. They're saying that I'm not too loud, so.
Okay. Let's. Hopefully, this will be a little bit better. Okay, so who was Toxic Eclipse before LoveRespawn and before the streaming?
That was a good question. No one really. I mean, they're still saying I'm quiet. What the hell?
Hold on one second, sir. They're saying it's still quiet.
Yeah.
This is. Is that any better, guys? Shit, I apologize for this, but hey, it ain't a stream if there ain't no tech issues, right?
Testing. Can you guys hear me better now? Sounds like I can tweak anything on my end to help.
Let's see.
Let me check my voice and video. It's unknown said it's better now.
Okay, awesome. Okay, so before we were so rudely interrupted by technical issues, you were saying.
Okay. So before content creation, before this, I was just a guy who worked 40 hours a week. Hung out with my fiance. Played sports, but that was also really like I stay home a lot. I still do, but no, I was a person who was like really like just all in on my old job, like what used to be my career, like that was like my whole life for a good while. I was very invested in my job at the time and everything, and obviously we're not there anymore, which has been tremendous for my mental health because that place kind of had me spiraling into a pit, probably because I was so invested in working all the time and just like not really having like an outlet or anything like that. My outlet in life was sports in the summer, and that was kind of it.
Okay. Thank you for that. What inspired you to create LoveRespawn? I know you've touched on this a time or two, but what was that motivating factor? What was that moment like? This needs to exist.
So I want to say, let's call it 8 to 10 months ago. I was obviously, I'm still in my opinion, a very, new content creator. It's only been a year, but around that time when I started to learn what like stream teams were and stuff like that, I was like, man, it'd be really cool to have like my own place with my own people. You know, I'm not trying to like say it's about me. You know, I'm just like that was my thought process. Was like my own place on the internet with my own like people that I want to be associated with in the terms of like a stream team. And then so I got into a stream team. I'm still a part of it. I really haven't quit. I just like that was my first like kind of introduction to what a stream team was and kind of learning you know, about stream teams. And you know, for the first 3 weeks to a month, I was really trying to, you know, meet more people from the team. I was raiding constantly to other members of the stream team. I was, you know, I was trying to network. I was trying to get to know other people. And at that point of the 3 week to a month area, I was kind of like off put because, you know, it was like there was like one person from the whole stream team, which I kind of knew before I joined the stream team. That was like the only person that would really like I was really talking to in any capacity. Like it kind of just it felt very much like everybody was so focused on themselves, even though they're, you know, you're a part of a team. Like you're not, you know, at the end of the day, a team isn't about one person; it's about everybody.
Right.
And it just kind of felt like everyone that, you know, when I raided to somebody, like it was just they didn't really care about meeting somebody else from the team and learning about them. They just, you know, they wanted to grow their own content, their own stream.
Kind of like a popularity contest in high school.
Yeah, it's just like the vibes weren't what I didn't vibe with it after that. So then I kind of stopped like trying to network, trying to raid to people and everything. And then, so I want to say, what, a month before it was officially announced and everything that we you know, we made LoveRespawn, I gauged a couple people's input on their thoughts about it all. So obviously I spoke to Ivy, I spoke to Aaliyah, and I spoke to you.
Right.
And it's nothing against anybody else or anybody I know. I wasn't like, I'm not trying to exclude people, you know what I mean? Like I didn't want it to be a team that was like hand picking people, you know what I mean? Like I didn't want it to be like that. Like sure, the first couple people, it was like, okay, like I have to have a base of where we're starting.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like you can't really start a team and it just be one person. You need a couple people to start the whole thing to say like, okay, here is the start of LoveRespawn. So I had gauged, you know, I'd approached the three of you and kind of asked like, you know, what are your thoughts on this?
Right.
You know, I want, what's your opinion? Like, what do you think? Like, do you think it's a good idea? Do you think it's, you know, I just kind of wanted to gauge other people's opinion on it.
Right.
Because it's not the first time that a stream team has been made that's not an official Twitch stream team where, you know, it shows up in your bio, says the team name, because you have to be a partnered streamer, obviously, to have that.
Right.
Or you have to get one, like, transferred from a Twitch partner. So I had gauged, you know, approached the three of you, asked your opinions on it, and all three of you wanted to be a part of it, which was amazing. And, like, you know, the fact that it wasn't even like me asking, it was like, hey, I'm in. That was really, really cool. Mm-hmm. And then from there, like before we even started, we had three other people join, just from kind of word of mouth conversations with people. Like this is kind of going on, and now, you know, we're sitting at 17 people total now, right?
Right.
18 people now, which is absolutely like crazy for something that's been like 2 months. So, you know, yeah, that was kind of the whole thing. Was just like what really pushed it all was just my experience with an actual stream team and everything. And I was like, okay, like I don't it's like the right time to like have this conversation. And then like I said, I get the input, and it was like, yeah, we're doing this. Like there's we're not, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, you know, we'll wait till one day when I can have an official one. Like, boom, I'm nowhere close to being a Twitch partner. I don't know Twitch partners who have a stream team they're willing to, you know, hand over to me. So why do we need to be an official one? We don't.
No.
Because even though it's not a Twitch official team, it's literally like a very official like team at the end of the day. So.
Right. You mentioned you've been a content creator for a little over a year now. Now, in this last year, what has been your biggest takeaway from content creation? But at the same time, what is something you didn't know going into it a year later you know now?
That's a good question. I want to say I guess my biggest takeaway is the fact that I've made like some amazing, like genuine friendships. Like some of my best friends have come through a year of content creation. I've met people who I speak to like almost every day. Like that is something that like to me is still just so astonishing because when you start streaming, you never know where it's going to be. You never know if you're even going to get one person to come in your stream at the end of the day, never mind a year later. And I can honestly say I have most of the people I associate with on a regular basis are people I've never met in real life. They're people I've met through content and streaming. And something I've learned, I guess I would say, and obviously it's like the hard part of content creation is that not everybody you're going to meet is genuine or a good person. Unfortunately, you're going to meet some not so great people. Unfortunately, you're going to meet people who, you know, they pretend to be something they're not, and then you find out the hard way that they're awful. And it sucks. So like, and I honestly hope that a lot of people don't go through that, because it's genuinely like it's just crappy. So I guess that's kind of since the events of what transpired and stuff. I guess I've been a little more guarded to newer people.
Understandable.
Haven't like, you know, completely associate with them the way I was before with people. I've kind of just taken a bit of a, you know, more cautious approach to people I'm just meeting and stuff because unfortunately, like I'm a firm believer in like seeing the good in everybody. And I have a hard time, you know, this is like associating the fakeness sometimes because some people are really good at pretending. I'm just going to answer Noodle's question about what transpired. We had a person, I met him through other creators and I introduced him to all my friends basically, right? He became a part of, you know, our family on Twitch and, you know, 4 or 5 months after, you know, he kind of had been around and you know, hanging out and we were talking and like he made a lot of friends out of this. He completely 180'd and did some really shady crap, was treating people poorly, like just completely ghosted people who he called brothers, best friends, and just started being a huge piece of garbage on the internet, basically. And nobody would have saw it coming. It just came out of nowhere. So I'm not going to obviously name drop. I'm not, you know, that's not my thing. But for the most part, like, you know, a handful of people know exactly who I'm talking about because they went through all of it. So it's really crappy. I took it really hard, obviously. And everyone, you know, everyone who knows and was there part of what happened and transpired, they said, like, we don't fault you at all. It's not your fault you didn't know. But, like, me being me, I took it to heart. I took it, like, personal. It was like, this was somebody I brought in, and has met all of these people because of me, and then he did this to everybody. So me being me, I take that and I wear it like a backpack, you know what I mean? Like, it weighs heavy on my shoulders, even though, like everyone said, it's not your fault. You didn't know. Nobody's mad at you. It's just like, when I sit there and I think about it, it's just like, I brought that person into all of this. So all of it could have been prevented if I was just a little more cautious. But at the same time, again, like, we're talking in the span of 4 to 6 months. Like, how you're never going to know until all of a sudden they 180 on you. So
Right.
that would be something I would, is like one of the biggest lessons learned, and something I'd say to everybody is just like, don't look for reasons to not, talk to people and trust people, but also just be cautious, because you, again, never know what their ulterior motives at the end of the day are.
Right. Red flags are there for a reason.
Yeah, you be careful, get to really know somebody before you fully trust them, bring them into your world and your safe space, part of the internet, and your family on the internet, because, again, like, it's a shitty feeling, even though nobody will blame you, because obviously you can't tell. It's not a fun feeling to sit there and feel like, you're the reason all of this happened. It just, it rubs you the wrong way.
That is completely understandable, but just know, dude, we love the shit out of you regardless, man. We do. So I am curious now. Okay, you've been doing this a little over a year. If you could go back a year and a half, 2 years before this adventure, and you could tell yourself one sentence, what would you tell yourself?
That's tough, because, like, I'm a kind of person where, like, I have no regrets or anything from this year and stuff. I think that, as a person, I find that every step of the journey is a good step, no matter what.
Right.
So I wouldn't really have, like, I guess if I was taking it to the level of, like, just solely content, I guess maybe I would have told myself to start posting clips offline before streaming, kind of build a bit of a presence before starting. Maybe that'd probably be the only thing I could think of, because, again, like, I don't really regret anything, because everything has led me to where I am today, and everything has been a lesson learned along the way.
Right. I can agree 1,000 with that. Back on the subject of LoveRespawn, when people hear that name, LoveRespawn, what is it do you hope that they will feel? Maybe what it will invoke, either emotionally, mentally?
So for me, kind of like to break it down, obviously, the first part, love, is just that's what we're trying to spread, and everything on the internet, right? Like, the other day, I'm a very positive person, and the state of the world and things we see obviously every day, and not gonna get into it too much, because obviously I don't really want to talk about that crap, but
Right.
everybody kind of knows the stuff that goes on, in your own backyard and stuff. So to spread love is kind of, the whole purpose of this whole thing was, it's not about getting a bunch of people together and making sure everyone's supporting each other in streams, and it's not to boost people's numbers and stuff with, being that we have, this many members and stuff, because a lot of teams and stuff, that's kind of the end goal for them. No, it's to build, like, genuine connection with people that you might have never met otherwise. You
Right.
might have seen their name in a chat, but you might not have interacted them with the way that we interact with each other on a daily basis.
Right.
And then Respawn obviously is, you know, when you take down, to the fact that gaming is another chance or a fresh start, you know. So putting it together, it's definitely um, spreading love and having a new journey. So that's kind of the breakdown.
Okay. I appreciate that.
And yeah, like what Noodle said, time zones, work, family, all that comes into play. Exactly.
Right.
We put the emphasis on real life. We know that real life always comes first. Time zones play a factor in all of everything we try to do, whether it's team days or people being able to pop into each other's content and stuff. Because obviously we still want we still want to see each other. We want to hype each other up as content creators as much as we can. Work and family, obviously, like a lot of people work a full-time job. A lot of people are parents, like, so we don't put that emphasis on supporting each other all the time because we all have lives. We're busy people, like, you know what I mean? I can't, as much as people probably see me around a lot in content. I work 40 hours a week. I have a kid, like, I have a busy life. I do my best to be everywhere I can as much as possible, but at the end of the day, life comes first, family comes first. Like, so it might just be me lurking because I'm spending time with my kid or I'm at work and I can't really be there too much, but I still make the effort to try to be there as much as I can. But again, like, we're about life always comes first at the end of the day.
I feel comfortable in saying this, and I think I can speak for most everybody on the team and whoever else that we appreciate the fucking hell out of the fact that you make time to pop in the streams that you're able to. And I mean, that goes for anybody else who has a full fucking plate, working a full time job, parent, whatever else you got going. It's a busy thing. And I know from myself, it can be very draining. So the fact that you guys show up is fucking amazing. So
it's definitely a draining thing. That's like to put it into kind of. I haven't said too much about it, but the reason I haven't been streaming as much is because I've been experiencing major burnout. Just between like how busy and how like grueling work has been, and then like I haven't been posting on socials because I've just been too tired to edit, and I sit down at the desk at the end of the night and I'm like, I could stream, but like tired. So hopefully I can kind of get that figured out and be a little more active and stuff, because obviously I love streaming. I love being here and hanging out with everybody, but I've kind of lately been trying to prioritize making sure I'm okay first.
I understand that. I feel that. Just my 1 cent. I don't think it would hurt. It'd probably do you some good, man. Take a week or two off streaming. Just jump in the chat, support where you can if that's what you want to do, or I mean, because dude, you are your own. You're your number one priority when it comes to this streaming shit, man. I mean, for real. Because if we could come over there and take care of you, shit, I would pamper you. But okay. I know this has only been a few months in. Maybe several. My concept of time is whacked. But how has Team LoveRespawn evolved? How is it anything what you thought it would be like, or is this maybe something of another beast that you weren't expecting?
Honestly, it has exceeded my expectations. Awesome. Simply for the fact that like when I was like, okay, let's do this. Like, I really didn't expect to have almost 20 people that I wanted to be a part of it after a couple months. I thought we were gonna get 10 people and we'd be kind of stuck there. And obviously, like right now, it's a lot of like we're trying to do all the team content and build the TikTok to get everybody's content out and get the team name out there a little more, and hopefully that'll help and we'll see some more applications roll in. But I mean, far exceeded what my expectation was, and you know, everybody that's a part of it has just been amazing. You know, there's a couple of people who are on a bit of a hiatus from creation, and that's fine. I get it.
Right.
Again, life comes first. So,
Exactly.
you know, there's a couple of people who aren't super active and stuff. And, you know, I've had conversations with them off camera and stuff. And,
Right.
you know, like they're just busy and they're finding it hard to really dive into content creation. You know, one person, you know, they had a whole career change and they're just like, I'm just tired, and when I sit down, like I just don't know what I want to stream, and I haven't done it. And I'm like, hey, that's fair. You got to take care of yourself first and figure out, like, you can't really dive into content if you're not enjoying what you're doing at the same time. So at the end of the day, regardless if you're on a hiatus for 6 months, a year, whatever the case may be, you're still a part of this, and you still have all these other people that are here for you whenever you kind of get back. And then just like the daily interaction, like that's a big one for me, because like it's like every day, you know, it's saying, hey, good morning, like I hope you guys have a good day, you know, what are you up to today, all that kind of, like, that shit gets me through my day, if I'm being honest, because like I'm a antisocial person when it comes to like real life. So when I have like this group of people who are always just kind of checking in on each other and seeing how their day is going and stuff like that shit makes my fucking heart melt, dude. I love it.
I feel that.
It's exceeded the expectation of what I thought it was going to be in a short little bit, and now it's just kind of like, how do we keep leveling up and how do we keep getting the name out there and find more people who want to be a part of this? Because I think we have a really good group of people right now, a bunch of amazing content creators and just a bunch of amazing human beings.
Indeed.
And I think like more people, you know, when they kind of learn more about what it is and doing and how the day-to-day is, you know, I think it'd be silly to not want to be a part of it.
I understand. As someone who is the founding father of this and someone who is also a member of the team, do you think that there is any misconception about LoveRespawn? And if so, what is it?
I don't think that there is too much, because we've kind of, like, we laid out the expectation
Right.
in writing right away. Like, you know, it's about like showing up for each other outside of content creation, and there's not that pressure to be in content all the time. And, you know, I don't really, it feels like it's you know, like at the end of the day, you don't want to be a support for a support group. That doesn't work. That doesn't get you anywhere, right?
No.
That's not what we're about, and I don't think that anybody feels like it is.
No.
I'd like well, yeah, we can pin the Discord in people's chats and feel that, yeah, absolutely, that's definitely a good stepping stone to help kind of get it out there more too. I know a couple people have to like a command or like an auto message and stuff like that, which I've never asked anybody to do anything that. They've asked me if they're cool if they do it, and I'm like, absolutely. Like, you know, we're only going to be able to get more reach if you know, more people kind of want to push it at the end of the day. So it kind of comes at the end of the day onto everybody. If that's something they want to do, then yeah, more, but I don't expect it. I never would expect it.
Right.
At the end of the day, it falls on me and, you know, the administration side of the team, basically, to figure out how we go about doing that. That's kind of why I kind of was like, okay, I need help. Like, I can't do everything myself with how I'm like my current mental state and stuff like that. And that's kind of why I was like, okay, like, we have 2 people doing, you know, content. And, you know, there's 2 people dealing with like setting up game days and stuff like that. That takes a lot of stuff off of me,
Right.
which is very, very helpful, because again, like, it's hard to push through the burnout and try and do that stuff all the time. So
The burnout is
but
real.
obviously at the same time, I'm still like very much active in, like, if they need ideas for content or how we can be better about stuff, or how we, you know, like I was talking to Ivy, because obviously for the people on the team who know, Ivy and Bally are our social media TikTok people. And Ivy, she was asking, like, it's just like finding pulling the clips and all that, and I was like, we should find an online way to make a content board, basically like a whiteboard with content ideas and video ideas, and we can access that between all of us and say, okay, like, hey, I found this idea. I was watching a video and I saw this would be really cool if we could do this, right? Because there's only so much you can do when it comes to, like, hey, we're gonna make a Rivals video, we're gonna make a Phasmophobia video. Like, there's only so many games out there that people play to be able to take a clip from here and a clip from here and then make a little montage. And then we did the team introductions for the people who wanted to edit their own video, because it was like, hey, how can I make this fun for everybody, but also challenge people to edit something that they're proud of enough to share on social media. So it was kind of like that. That was the idea behind that, which also helps me because it gives me content to post. So that's been, like, obviously a massive. So that was probably something too that I didn't expect, was like that it would become a lot of extra work behind the scenes when I'm already struggling with, like, my own content and editing and stuff as it is. So
Understand.
Those are probably the big takeaways: exceeding expectation, and then obviously there's more work than I really expected it would be at the start. Right. With the fact that I started a TikTok trying to do these edits and content creation to try and put more of everybody's content on the algorithm through a separate page besides just our own pages, try expand the reach, because I might post a video and it might not see these, but a video with me and it might see a bunch of other eyes, and vice versa for, like, everybody on the team. So hopefully that could kind of bring more of an audience to these other people. They can see this clip and oh, that was a really cool play by Stoner. Oh, that was a really good play by Menace. Oh, that was an awesome by Oh, I really liked that one by Minnie the Ghost. Okay, I'm going to go follow Minnie the Ghost on Twitch. I'm going to go into his next stream and check out the hype because that clip was awesome. But is that content, like, all the time kind of thing? Like, can I sit here and enjoy the hype? So that's kind of the building idea behind, like, hey, let's have a team TikTok page.
Right. Okay, so burnout has been mentioned a couple of times so far. So let's deviate from the founder side. Let's go to the more human side of things, more to the man behind the mic, behind the content creation. What keeps you going when you start to realize burnout is setting in? Is this something you try to fight through, or is burnout something you take a step back, recalibrate, do what you got to, then fucking let's keep it going?
I used to just push through burnout a lot. Obviously not a good thing to do because you kind of just keep digging your hole in a nutshell with how burnt out you feel. But now it's kind of like, hey, I'm at a place where, like, I can't keep pushing myself like that because, I have, I've had a stress disorder in my lifetime. I have anxiety. I have depression. I have all these things that I deal with as it is. So then to add major burnout on top and then try and push through that, then I start to get anxious more. I start to, like, have, like, anxiety, panic attacks in my sleep where I wake up feeling like I'm paralyzed for 5 minutes. So I've kind of learned that I need to start to take a little bit of a step back and stop pushing myself when I feel like I'm burnt out. And try and do some more stuff IRL to stay fresh. And obviously, like, softball is a big outlet for me to kind of, I mean, it's only one day a week, but that's a good one to, just kind of disconnect from everything and play a sport I really love playing. And then that's an hour and 15 minutes one day a week that I kind of get to decompress from everything and stuff like that. But yeah, you try and push all the way through it, but now we're kind of making sure we're just taking the time so I don't end up spiraling, because I've spiraled. It's not a good time.
No, it's not. For anybody that might be, like any signs or flags that they're unfamiliar with when it comes to burnout. For those that may have not experienced burnout, what is something what are things they should be aware of? They should keep on the eye out if they think they're, starting to get burnout.
Um, I mean, it's kind of tough. Everyone kind of has like
Well, for you
um,
specifically, what were some red flags?
different. Um, for me, it's just like I constantly feel like I'm fatigued. Um, I feel like I don't feel like motivated as much to do stuff. Um, I find like I have like appetite change where I'm not. I'll be one day. I'll have like 2 days where I have to force myself to eat because I'm just like I have no appetite, and
Right.
then I'll have a day where I just like feel like I have to eat every friggin' 10 minutes because I'm so hungry. Um,
I do too some days. Don't know why.
I'm a yeah. I don't know. It's weird.
Not
Sleep patterns are a big one for a lot of people too. When they're burnt out, their sleep is very like inconsistent. One night you'll fall asleep at 11 p.m. The next day you're up till 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. Like it's a little all over. Um, I get like I get really like I have like a negative outlook on things a lot when I'm burnt out. Like I go down to that rabbit hole of like, what's the fucking point? You know what I mean?
right.
Like I get very like that. I'll sit there and just feel like I'm a failure. Um, and then just like in like the home personal life, I'm just like I have like I just lay there and just like not want to do anything. Um, that's kind of what for me what I experience a lot
All right.
when I feel burnt out, anyways.
Thank you for sharing.
Or a big one too. I don't know if other people really have this, but I will sit down at my desk feeling amazing. Like I can't, I'm so excited to stream, and then like I'll fire up my stream, and then 10, 15 minutes later, I'm like, why the fuck did I hit go live? Like I just want to go lay down and fucking curl up into a ball, and like it just hits you like a wall.
Right. Right. Okay, so let me ask you this: how do you balance being toxic the streamer and then, you know, toxic in your personal life away from stream? Is there a difference, or we pretty much getting the same big bag of joy we always get?
Yeah, for the most part, I'm the exact same person on camera. I don't really. I'm not one to put on an active facade. I don't like
Right.
sitting down and turning into a person I'm not. I'm the
Right.
exact same person 24/7 basically. Um, Obviously I'm more talkative when it comes to being on here.
Right.
Um, I'll have days where like if I'm not streaming, like I'm not talking to people, like leave me alone. um, but
I get that.
for the most part, yeah, nothing's changed. I don't. I'm not a person who likes the fakeness people portray. Like one of my biggest like things that'll be like, all right, I'm leaving the stream and probably never returning is when I can feel like I can sense the fakeness in a person,
Right.
or like um, you can kind of see they're doing things to try and become famous, try to get to partner, like the fakeness. Like when I once I catch that, it's just like see you later.
Right.
Like I don't like it. I've dealt with enough fake people in my lifetime outside of content creation to associate with ones in it.
Right. Okay, so let's pivot to gaming. Um, for those of us that do know, you are a crown chaser, you are a sweat, you are a tryhard, you are an ass kicker, you are a frenzy flame, good sir. So my question is, first, if you could pick one person, it doesn't have to be a Team Love Respawn member, it could be another player, whatever. If you had to go into a duos tournament right now at the end of this interview, and you could pick one person that you could trust to have your back to walk away with the dub, who would it be? And no,
So
this is
easiest question I'll ever answer in my life. literally my favorite content creator, favorite Call of Duty X Pro player, Optic Scumpy. The man is a legend.
Oh,
I don't know
yeah.
if you guys know Optic Scump. I don't know if anyone's really a big fan of the Call of Duty League, but I've watched it for fucking ever. Even though I don't really play COD anymore, Scump's just one of those dudes that like he's just like, you know, he retired from Call of Duty 2 years ago and could go back in the league and kick almost anybody's ass still. Like,
Wow.
he's insane. And like any FPS game, like dude has all of the natural skill that you need as a shooter, and stuff. And he's funny as hell. Like anybody out there, if you've never watched Scump, I highly recommend watching this dude because he is hilarious. He's great. And like I've been an Optic Gaming fan for a long fucking time. So that's just like an instant one would be just one. It would be like fucking amazing to sit down and talk to that guy and play games with him. One, but like, oh my god, if there's anybody I want to sit down in a 1v1, 1v2 gunfight, it's him, dude. He's him.
He's him. All right. Awesome.
He's not one of the greatest of all times in the world of Call of Duty for no reason.
Okay, I will definitely have to give him a check out. Okay, so hypothetical, big hypothetical. If you were to go into a squatted tournament and you had to pick Respawn members, of course, I am disqualified from this, so you'd have to go with your second pick and down. No. Who would you want squatted up with you?
So are we talking like game specific? Like we're talking Fortnite?
Yeah, we're talking Fortnite. And why? Why that person? You know, it could be trios, 4 or 5, whatever you want to do.
All right, so we're talking like tournament. Like there's something to win.
Right.
Kind
Yeah.
of tournament.
Yeah, going for the glory and all the biddies.
Okay. That's tough because there's a lot of people who do play Fortnite and LoveRespawn.
Right.
But if I'm like, okay, we're going for the win. Number one, I would pick Mac and Cheesy. One, she's just like very good at Fortnite when she really like locks in.
A beast.
And like if you put a sniper in her hand in a tournament, like GG's, like she's getting multiple with the sniper.
Okay.
And again, she's like her primary game is Fortnite. That's
right.
What she streams. Second, maybe controversial to some because he just got back onto Fortnite, but Minnie the Ghost is actually he's just good at FPS games, and I think it's like one of those things like when you're an FPS gamer, it doesn't matter what game you play, the gun skill's there.
Right.
You know, you can learn the movement, the map, all that stuff pretty quickly. And like playing with him recently and watching him play a bit, like he's an FPS player.
Right.
I can pick up this controller right now, play Black Ops 7. I haven't touched it. I played the beta. Haven't touched it. I could go into Black Ops 7 right now and I will fry people because I'm an FPS player. Like that's what we do.
Right.
And for a fourth, it's tough because there's a lot of good like Fortnite players,
right.
And I know this person will probably be like, I'm not that good, but actually, Unknown is actually really good at Fortnite.
Oh my God, yes, he is. Jesus Christ.
He's one of those people. He's like, oh no, I'm good. Like, he's actually very good at the game.
He's very humble.
Like he fries.
Oh my God.
He's very humble, but he's very, very good.
Yes.
So I think if you put a team together with me and those three people, once we're like on the same page with rotation and stuff like that, like I think we could absolutely frag out.
Right. Okay.
Because like especially Fortnite, I'm a very aggressive player, and I think that those three people can complement that play style very well with supporting,
right,
helping even if they're not right there from a distance and stuff like that. Because like I'm just when it comes to shooting games, I'm super aggressive. I don't care who you are, I will chow you.
Right.
Like
you will dog walk them. So whether it's okay, so personal live streaming. What brings you peace when you are streaming, and what is that peace off stream? If it's two different things.
On stream, what brings me peace is just like hanging out and vibing with everybody. That like, if I'm playing a game and I'm playing by myself, when I'm playing games with you guys and we're hanging out and we're just chatting, it's like we're just hanging out at the same time. Like, it's good content, but that kind of keeps me at ease. It makes me not worry about the stream as much because like I don't have to worry about explaining what I'm doing in game and finding topics to talk about because I can bounce off of everybody in the VC while we're chilling and gaming. So that kind of eases my anxiety and stress when I'm live, because when I have a stream where I'm playing by myself and stuff, like I will stress out about the fact that I'm not talking enough.
Right.
Off stream, there's a couple things that bring me peace when it's off stream, and it's different from when I'm on stream. Like, because I'm not a person who listens to music when I stream. It's too much. It's like it can be like overloading for me to focus on, because when I'm listening to music, like I'm just trying to vibe to the music.
Right.
So music is a big one that but just being with my family and my kid, like just like the days where I just get to hang out with my kid, like it just some of the most peaceful days, even when he slaps me in the face or headbutts me in the nose.
I feel that.
It's still it's one of those things where you just like you sit there and you're like, I'm blessed. Like I'm blessed to be a father.
Right.
And that brings me a lot of peace.
Hell yeah. Let's see. Let's talk some anime. I think a lot of us know that your favorite anime would be One Piece, of course. What is the anime that, or what is the show that got you into anime? What was that diving board that said, "We going"?
Everybody's gonna hate this answer, but it's literally One Piece is the first anime I've ever.
Okay.
So when I was really young, when I was like younger, I say younger, not really young. I'm one of those people. I don't classify like Yu-Gi-Oh as an anime. In my brain, it's still a cartoon. Just because when we were kids, we watched cartoons. It wasn't like we didn't label it anime, right? But that would be probably the closest thing that I've watched. That was anime when I was younger. And I've watched. My sister used to watch like Inuyasha and stuff like that, and I'd be there and it's on, but I really didn't dive into it. But One Piece was the first anime that I like. People don't know this, but One Piece is what, fucking 1,100 plus episodes.
Right.
I watched One Piece from start to finish in under 3 months.
Oh shit! Damn, that's insane.
That's like 2 summers ago.
Oh wow!
About 2 summers ago, I started at the beginning of summer. Every day was I'd watch episodes before I went to work, and then I got home and I would just sit there and watch One Piece till I went to bed. If obviously there was days where I was like, I'm doing other crap and stuff, but like, yeah, that was definitely like, damn, this is really good. I really like this. And now like, I'm not watching a lot of anime, but I have expanded out to a couple other ones that I've from time to time have kind of watched some episodes. And I think it's just for me, One Piece, like, I've always loved like pirates and stuff, so I think like it's super cool, and then it's like it's an anime about pirates, like, right. And it's fucking badass. So like it's like I really dove into One Piece.
Hell yeah, I completely get that. Okay, we got a couple more questions for you, and then we will wrap this up so you can get about your business, good sir. Whether it's a year from now, 2, 3, 5, where would you like to see Team Respawn possibly be?
You never know where the journey takes you, right. But 2, 3 years from now, I'd love to see it be like an official Twitch stream team, that would be amazing. It would mean that somebody from the team who loves the team enough maybe made partner and made that the official, like their with their stream team, they're allowed made LoveRespawn an official one. Or if we happen to, get lucky and make friends with a Twitch partner who's like, hey, like, you want my stream team? I'll sign it over. And then you have one, why not make it official? But
Right.
I think that would be really, really cool. And then, like, 2-3 years from now is a long time. You never
Right.
know what it'll be, but if 2 or 3 years from now, we're sitting at like a team that's like 100 people or plus, like something like that would be crazy. That'd be so cool,
It would.
right? Because that's like a 100. That's like more family than I associate with in real life. So it would just be really, really cool to have a group like that with a bunch of people who all just like love to hang out and chat, love content creation, love the vibe and what we're about, and it just kind of grow the family.
Right on. Okay, this will be our last one. Because I'm gonna definitely download this, clip the shit out of it. When people watch this interview later, whether it's next week, next year, what do you hope they will take away about you and LoveRespawn?
In terms of the team, I hope that they can kind of take away that it's a really amazing group of people, that like people want to be a part of, because I'm being honest, like I don't watch a lot of partner Twitch streams. I don't watch like most of the content I take in is your guys' content. So I hope that people can kind of take away that it's a great group of people, and that they should want to be a part of it, because it's just like it's amazing. Whether whether you're streaming to 2 people, whether you're streaming to 50 people, it doesn't really matter. At the end of the day, everybody in the team is a very genuine, wholesome, good person. We all have our things that we excel in and all the things that we have opportunities with, but we also have this group of people that can help us with those opportunities. We see people posting, hey, like, I make emotes with this, I edit with this, what I mean? Like, that's the coolest thing, is people just out here, like, we're all trying to help each other grow as content creator, because that's the goal as a content creator. No matter who you are, you want to grow.
Right.
So the fact that there's so many people already in here, I hope that people can kind of see what we're about, and maybe it resonates with them and they want to be a part of it, because that'd be amazing. In terms of myself, that's probably the harder question to answer, because I really don't have an answer. I show up, I'm me, you know what I mean? Like I try to inspire people. I try to talk about mental health. I try to be somebody that can, make one person smile. That's all. That's been the goal since day one, and that's never really going to change, regardless of how many people are watching my stream. Or you guys know I don't pay attention to viewership. I don't really give a shit.
Right.
So I don't know. I guess that this is the big thing. I guess, like, if you're looking for somebody who's just genuinely and authentically themselves, will tell you as it is in the nicest way possible, and can, metaphorically be a shoulder to cry on. I guess that's kind of me as a person, and hopefully people like that.
I feel that, well, when it comes to authenticity, I know I didn't say that right, dude. You're as real as it comes. That is pretty much it for questions. But if there is something you would like to reiterate, or if there's something you would like to touch on that we haven't, the floor is yours, my good sir. You speak on what you want to. There is no really set time limit, but this is just your chance to, speak on what you want. The floor is yours, my guy.
Oh, geez, put me in the hot seat, eh?
Right.
I don't really have too many things I talk about. I'm not really a person who likes to talk about themselves too much, you know. That's
Okay.
why, like, you know, if someone rates me, I have that little spiel to kind of just introduce myself, and I don't really go too far beyond that because I'm just like, at the end of the day, you guys know I push other content creators. I would rather hype up anybody else than myself. At the end of the day, I'm that's always been me. Whether that's a bad trait to have as a content creator, I really don't care. At the end of the day, I mean, it's what I enjoy. It's part of why LoveRespawn's a thing. It's, you know, part of why we made a TikTok, is I just like to try to bring an audience to other content creators and bring eyes to, you know, the content they're creating, because I think, you know, whether it's music streams in the smokers on sweating it out with motion, or mac and cheesy, you know, with playing horror games, you know, any of that kind of stuff. Like, I love pushing other people's content with my platform. So yeah, I mean, like, I don't really have you know, a lot of things on the go right this summer challenge for 3 months of torture at the end of the year. You know, behind the scenes, I'm not really doing a whole lot right now. You know, I'm maybe dabbling in figuring out long form content, full like YouTube videos. Maybe, you know, I don't really push my YouTube very much. I'm mostly on TikTok when it comes to content. So maybe something I do in the future and focus on is a little more on the YouTube side of things when I'm, you know, feeling 100% again, or 90% again, or whatever percentage I can get up to. Yeah, I don't know. I have some ideas of things that are just like for the future. That will be fun. You know, we obviously, you know, we'll run back a birthday stream this year, and we'll have our, you know, 2-year anniversary stream and stuff, the fun days with everybody. So I have some cool ideas for stuff like that. But yeah, I don't know. I guess, like, I might write a book.
Shit!
I've been dabbling on that for a couple days now. I might yeah, I mean, it won't be anything crazy, but
I would read it.
I've been heavily thinking about writing a book about mental health, especially you know, the stigma behind men, and you know, what we went through growing up. You know, the common phrases we've all heard, be a man and all that kind of stuff, and what kind of effect that has on a man later on in life, and everything like that. So it's just like, yeah, I've been sitting on that for a couple weeks now. I have a lot of ideas for it. I have a title for it. I have it's the sitting down and writing it part. But, you know, I have a lot of ideas for it, because I also think it would be a good what's the word I'm looking for here? A good outlet for me to kind of get things out, because I have been W freaking
Raid. Holy shit! Holy shit! Sorry for the Jesus Christ! One lonely bun coming in hot. Oh wow! Thank you for the raid. Welcome in, Raiders. This is the Smokers Lounge. This is the Chop and Shop hour. We are sitting here talking with the beautiful beast himself, ToxicEclipse. Oh, we appreciate the hell out of this raid. Thank you so much. Thank you, Raiders. Thank you so much for your time. Okay.
And then what was that? I guess so. Obviously, I've kind of slowed down a bit with streaming and content creation. I've been doing a lot of self-reflecting, which it's not really a good thing. It's actually really bad for me, and kind of like thinking a lot of stuff in my past that maybe I haven't kind of gone over or yet I have healed properly from. So I kind of want to almost sit down and write letters to people that in my past that maybe I haven't, things didn't end well. And not like I never did it bad, don't get me wrong. But I feel like sitting down and writing letters that nobody's ever going to see is going to find closure for those chapters in my life that I've recently discovered. I just haven't closed the book on personally. Right. So I think that's going to be a good way for me to kind of come to terms and close that off. And, maybe that'll help in the future with obviously everything going on. And, maybe we can start to heal and recover and move in the right direction from there.
I can appreciate the shit out of that, man. I think a lot of people could use that point of view, that perspective of how healing, how cathartic that could actually be. I mean, yeah, granted, people aren't going to really ever see it, but it's outside your head. You're not tripping anymore. And that can be the difference between the bridge staying or the bridge breaking sometimes. Dude, all right.
Yeah, I think it's going to do wonders to kind of close that off and give myself the closure from those past traumas and stuff.
Right. Oh. All right, my guy. Thank you so much for your time. We are going to call it here.